Okay, imagine this. An invader travels thousands of kilometers, lands in Brazil, and almost overnight wipes out half of an entire fig harvest. This isn't science fiction, folks. This is the real story of Zaprionus indianus, the African fig fly. And today, we're going to uncover its secret. Ever since this fly showed up in Brazil back in 1999, it's been a total nightmare for farmers. Why? Because of its incredible, almost unbelievable speed and efficiency. So the question that stumped everyone was, how? How does an insect this small just take over a whole new environment so fast? What is its secret weapon? All right, let's get into it. And the stakes here are just incredibly high. I mean, soon after it arrived, farmers in Sao Paulo were looking at losses of 50% of their fig harvest. 50! This wasn't just some little pest problem. It was a full-blown economic disaster, all caused by one tiny but ridiculously effective invasive species. So, let's properly introduce our culprits. Zaprionus indianus. This little fly has this amazing ability to just spread and set up shop, turning new lands into its own territory with, frankly, alarming speed. But its true power, well, it isn't just about how far or fast it can fly. You see, to really get how this fly is so successful, we have to look way deeper than its wings. The real key to its world domination tour is hidden right in its genetic code. It's like a biological blueprint for invasion, and today we are going to crack that code. To figure this all out, scientists had to become, well, genetic detectives. They knew this fly's crazy adaptability had to be coming from somewhere specific, so they zeroed in on the very molecules that make this insect tick. Their investigation focused on a group of enzymes called esterases. Now, the best way to think about these is as the fly's all-in-one survival toolkit. These little enzymes are incredibly versatile. They help the fly digest different kinds of food, they detoxify poisons, and they even help it resist insecticides. In a brand new, potentially hostile place, these enzymes are literally the difference between life and death. Now here's the thing, not every tool in that kit is exactly the same. The genes that create these esterase enzymes come in different versions, and we call those alleles. Think of it like having a bunch of different screwdrivers or wrenches in your toolkit. Each one is a little different, perfect for a slightly different job, and that variety is the fly's real secret weapon. Okay, so this is where it gets really cool. Scientists zoomed in on one specific genetic address in the fly's DNA, a spot called Est-3. And what they found there was just fascinating. 4 different alleles, 4 different tools in the toolkit, all at a single location. This genetic diversity is basically a Swiss Army knife. It gives the entire population a whole range of options to deal with whatever the environment decides to throw at it. So having a versatile toolkit is one thing, but the real test is how you use it, right? And for the fig fly, the biggest test of all is the Brazilian climate itself. So let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. To see this in action, researchers went to a place called Marisol in Sao Paulo. For a whole year, they were out there collecting flies and analyzing their DNA, tracking the genetic makeup of the population as the seasons changed. And they found something absolutely remarkable. The fly's genetics were not fixed. The popularity of those different alleles, those different tools in the kit, actually changed depending on the season. During the dry times, some versions were more common. Then during the wet seasons, others became more popular. And here it is, the smoking gun. The data showed that the single biggest genetic shift in the entire fly population happened in January of 2002. And guess what? That was the rainiest month of the entire study. This is a huge clue that the climate, especially rainfall and humidity, is acting like a powerful force, basically choosing which flies have the right stuff to survive and reproduce. So, what the researchers were seeing wasn't just some interesting pattern. It was one of the most fundamental principles of biology. They were watching evolution happen, pretty much in real time. So, let's just break down how this works. First, you have an environmental pressure, right? Like a really, really rainy season. This pressure favors flies that happen to have the right genetic tools for that situation. Second comes natural selection. Those better suited flies survive more often and have more babies. And third, over time, the entire population adapts because those winning genes just become way more common. Just as the original researchers said, different evolutionary factors are always at work. The fig fly population is constantly tweaking its genetic recipe, making sure it's always perfectly optimized for success no matter what the conditions are in Brazil. Look, Understanding how this invader thinks and adapts on a genetic level isn't just a cool science experiment. This knowledge is our first and probably our best line of defense. By getting a handle on the fly's seasonal strengths and weaknesses, we can stop just reacting to it and start proactively managing it. This kind of research directly helps us create smarter, way more effective pest control strategies. And here is where it all comes together beautifully. Other studies show that a mind-boggling 97.4% of all fig fly captures happen during the rainy season. Well, that's exactly when our genetic data says they have the adaptive advantage. Knowing this lets us target our monitoring, and we even know their weakness. Turns out, traps baited with fermented banana work way better than anything else. Science gives us the when and the how to fight back smart. You know, the story of the African fig fly in Brazil is such a powerful reminder that evolution isn't just something you read about in textbooks. It's happening all around us, all the time. Which leaves us with one last pretty big question. In a world with a changing climate and so much global trade, are we accidentally creating the perfect conditions for the rapid evolution of more adaptable, more resilient superpests just like this one? The answer to that has massive implications for our food and our ecosystems all over the world.